Hi everybody, my name is Corrine Larson and I sell LulaRoe. Why do I love LulaRoe? What is LulaRoe all about? How can you subsidize your income with LulaRoe? And how it has impacted my family. Those are the things I'd like to talk to you about in this video. First of all, why LulaRoe? Why did I pick LulaRoe? Because I needed something to help me subsidize our family's income. I had two boys who needed me to stay home with them. Plus I have some medical problems that it causes me to not be able to work. Okay, so I needed a job that I could do in small amount of times because I have to take rests or breaks. And so my boys, they were 18 and 30 2 years ago, and Parker was just switched out of adult services and over into, kids services and into adult services. He has Asperger's and he is going to college, and he has some support personnel that I have to keep on top of all the paperwork, to make sure his Medicaid stays and everything like that. And then my other son is 30, Michael. He is developmentally delayed, and he lives in the home behind us, and he has 24/7 support staff, and I have to be there when one of them is sick, and I have to make sure all of Michael's paperwork gets done so that his services continue. And so if you've ever had a kid with disabilities, you understand that there's a lot of paperwork involved to get all the services in place. There's a lot of appointments to keep and everything. And so I needed something that could work around those things. Had a friend I was telling this to, and she said, "Hey, I'm having a LulaRoe party. Why don't you come?" And I said, "Come, you live north of me about 6 hours. I can't really do that." And she goes, "No, it's all on Facebook. It's online." And I said, "What? You have an online Facebook party?" This was 2.5 years ago. I had never even heard of such a thing. I had Facebook, and I contacted a lot of my old friends, but I didn't know that you could have parties or join groups. I didn't even know what a group was. So I had to learn all this stuff. And so I went to the party, bought a dress, super comfortable. Today I'm wearing a Carly, super comfortable, and a Sarah, keep me warm with my pockets, and leggings. Today it was freezing cold here in Idaho. So super comfortable clothing. It really is affordable. It makes you feel like a woman, and it's easy to put on, take off. And so for people with chronic fibromyalgia or any kind of chronic pain issues, LulaRoe clothing is amazing, and it's really helps them feel like a woman again. And many of my customers do have stuff like that going on, and I'm able to share with them, "Hey, have you tried this dress? Super cute, super relaxing. You don't have to wear it with pantyhose and stilettos. You can wear it with your Uggs like me, see?" So it's just really a lot of fun to dress them up and help them feel comfortable about who they are. So I investigated. Yes, it was a big investment. Back then, it took like $5,000 to get in, and so we paid half from savings and half on a credit card, and I got in, and I started selling gorgeous, gorgeous things. Look at these prints. This is amazing, right? This is leggings soft, right? This one, so cute. Plaid is so in right now. We've got that. And I love the Sarahs. The Sarahs are so nice. And look at this one, just absolutely gorgeous. I paired this one with the Carly. Whoever buys this outfit is gonna look so good. So anyway, I just really love the clothes. Every time I get a new box in, it's like Christmas morning. I get to, open it up and see what great prints are inside, and then I get to share them with my group. So LulaRoe seemed like a home run for me because I love clothes, I love shopping, I love taking pictures. So it was a really good fit for me. My husband and I had taken on some big responsibilities, and we were in the process of adopting from Lafayette, and we were in the process of hosting a young woman and her son from the Philippines that we were going to be responsible for the finances for both of those, for all three of those kids. And I needed something to help me make the money in the times when I was able to work. So that's why I chose LulaRoe. What I love about LulaRoe is its mission. I love that Deanne and Mark and all the other people involved in LulaRoe love to help others. They love to serve others. And yes, there's been some growing pain. Yes, there's been some negative publicity. But you know what? Who goes that quickly when starting a new company? I mean, this company is just turned 5 years old. And they are like, I don't know, in selling billions of dollars worth of clothes every year. So yes, there's been a few problems, but Deanne and Mark are great people. They have really worked hard at, working out all the kinks and getting things where us, the retailers, are able to make the money that we need to support our family and to make a difference in our communities or in the ways that we choose to let LulaRoe impact our lives. So meeting them and telling them the story that I am going to tell you just a few months ago just reaffirmed what I had already thought, because Deanne, when I told her about my kids, Natalia that we adopted and Arjun and Nate that we haven't formally adopted, but we've pretty much, we pseudo-adopted them. How's that? And I mean, she had tears in her eyes when she heard that the company she created was making this kind of impact. Okay, I can't cry. Was make this kind of impact on young women's lives and little Nate's. So here's how the story goes. First of all, 5 years ago I went on a mission trip. It had always been my dream to go and work in orphanages. And I had a chance because a friend of mine was in the Philippines doing some work for school. They had just had typhoon, and anyway, she was helping with some of the aftermath of some of the tragedies that were happening over there. And she said, "Karine, why don't you come over?" So I called my husband and I said, "Hey, Liz invited me to the Philippines. Do you think it's okay if I go?" And he said, "Sure, why not? Go." And I did. And they had me working from the moment I got off the plane till I left. And it was very exhausting. But while I was there, it was a really rewarding trip. I got to spend time in the orphanages there. I got to spend time in makeshift villages, like where people just put up cardboard or tin and call that their house. I mean, really, it's just the likes of poverty I have never seen before. So it really touched my heart that this 18-year-old girl who was showing me around and being my bodyguard, she's about this tall, and telling me what I should say and what I shouldn't say. She kept me safe, and how to ride all the different transportation. And in the meantime, I learned her story. I learned how unspeakable things had happened to her, and how she had this little boy, and how he needed surgery, and how she could not afford the surgery in her country, nor did she trust the medical care that was available to them because they were so poor. I mean, she slept in a cardboard box outside of the hospital right after giving birth because her son was in the NICU. I mean, in America, we just don't see that kind of poverty very often. And so for me, it was just like, oh my goodness, how is she going to raise this child here in poverty? And when she's so smart and she was so driven, she just had a spirit in her, not only for God, but for helping others and for just being a light in this world. So when I came home, I talked to my husband, and people thought we were crazy, those that knew. There's no way the Philippine government's going to allow her to come with her son to America, to a family that she's not related to get a visa, to get a passport, to get a birth certificate. We had to do all that. And yet somehow it all worked out, and she came, and we were, we needed to make the money to pay for her college tuition, and we had to pay not the rate we were paying for Parker, but the rate we were paying for an international student. I didn't know that was like almost 3 times what we paid for Parker. Had no idea. I didn't check all my facts before we started this journey. Otherwise, it probably would have scared us away. So I'm glad we did it because of LulaRoe, we were able to put her through 2.5 years of college, getting her the prerequisites she needed to get a full scholarship to a nursing program, to a university in our area that has taken her on. They've heard her story, and they have just welcomed her with open arms because she's gotten such good grades. I would say straight A's, but I think there might have been a B in there somewhere. I think it was in English, actually. So anyway, yes, she's learning English very well, but she just studies as much as she can. And little Nate, he came and he had a hernia problem that got blocked, and he woke up screaming in the middle of the night in October right after they'd come. This was a little over 2 years ago. And we took him straight to the Children's Hospital. 4 surgeons came out. These guys had no insurance, but 4 surgeons came to assess what to do with this little boy. I mean, he was 2 now, but he weighed, I think, 11 pounds. He was tiny. I don't know what it was now, maybe 15 pounds. But anyway, so they wanted to make sure they did it correctly, and they took him back and they took care of it and got rid of the impaction that was causing him so much pain, and fixed the hernia, and then he had surgery on his teeth that were all decayed, and now he has teeth that he doesn't hurt when he eats. He's learned how to eat food, and he's gone from just a little 15-pounder. Now he weighs 32 pounds, and he's 4 years old. We just found out he has a hearing problem, and he's going to get hearing aids, and all this is possible because we brought them to America. Our Jane, I took her for a vision check, and she had never had real glasses. She had, the kind you could get at the dollar store, but of course it was like the peso store, I guess, there. But because she didn't know what it was like. And he's like, how have you lived your whole life without seeing? And she's like, it's just the way it is. When you grow up in poverty, you just make do with what you have. And so, we were able to get her glasses and everything that she needed. And so they've been such a blessing to our family, and we never could have done this without LulaRoe. And when I told that story to Deanne, and she heard that the company she started was touching lives in this kind of way, she was just, she had tears in her eyes. And it was just so nice to see, that even though they're so successful and have done all this, they're still happy to just talk and hear how LulaRoe is making a difference in our family. We also have a 14-year-old daughter. Her name is Natalia. We adopted her almost 2 years ago from Lafayette. We were in this process before we met our Jane and Nate, and it was just taking forever. We actually thought it was never, ever going to happen, that maybe there wasn't a child for us. But when we met Natalia, we knew that she was the child for us. She wanted to be a gymnast, and we brought her home. She had she thought she had skills, but she could do the splits, amazingly. She could do a thing that was she called a cartwheel, but no pointed toes or nothing, no form, okay? She could do flips on the trampoline that she got in trouble for in Lafayette, but she really has an amazing spirit for gymnastics, and we took her to the gym, and we hooked her up with coaches, and this is her 2nd year of gymnastics, and she's already winning medals. You have to join my group to see this beginning gymnast at 14. Her beautiful floor routines are just amazing. She just has so much grace and so much poise, and we're just so happy that we're able to make a difference in her life and that she's joined our family. And again, adoption internationally is not cheap. It's expensive, and LulaRoe is helping us to pay those bills as well by working the hours I work, It really is. You get what you put into it, okay? I work about 2 or 3 hours a day, and I can make about, I can sell about 10,000 a month. If I don't work every day because somebody's got pneumonia or somebody's got the flu, then it could be 3 to 5,000. I mean, it just really is something that we are so much. We do our best. We have game night every Thursday night. We play bingo or Pictionary, or we have a genie game we play. We just got these spinning wheels and Plinko thing, prize drop thing like Plinko, and we're going to start a new game with that this Thursday. So if you want to see great current inventory and you want to make a difference in the lives of these young people that I told you about, then you should join my group. It's LulaRoe Corrine Larson, and anything that you buy from my group will help these kiddos, as well as, we host orphans from other orphanages in the summer and winters, and so sometimes the money will go to bring one of them to the U.S. so that we can have more fun. But I just have to tell you that LulaRoe has made a difference in our life, and if you're looking for something to make a difference in your life, then you should message me and I can tell you about it. I can sell you these great clothes, or you can sign up and you can sell, okay? So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you all had a wonderful day.